Hey, folks, welcome to the two Micks. We have got a lot of sports to talk about, and I guess we're going to just dive into the game last night.
There was a
Kentucky,
game last night?
well,
I didn't know there was a game last night.
Louisville showed up, and actually, I'll give Kentucky credit. Kentucky lost Louisville by 8 points last night, but they did. They were down by 20 and made a comeback, cut it within four, Mike, and
Had a chance to cut it to two.
cut it to two and missed a couple free throws.
They did, and you and I were talking about it earlier, and I think that was the kind of the last straw. I thought in my head, if he hits the front end of this 1-on-1 and gets at least one of these two free throws, I thought the Cats are going to come back and win. He missed the front end. Louisville went down, hit another shot, and so it was a 4-point swing there, and I figured that was it. I thought that was the end of the game, but you it's a sad day to be a Kentucky fan whenever we lose to Louisville.
Well,
But
no. Louisville. I mean, hey, we were playing at Louisville. Louisville's a top 20
oh no,
team.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's a sad day because Louisville's not a good team. I'm just saying that it's just like the same thing. I mean, it runs deep for Louisville and Kentucky,
Because
and they hate losing to us.
well,
just
yeah,
like
because,
we hate losing to them.
because this is what I don't want to hear, which probably will, is if we win the national championship this year, then everybody will say, "Yeah, we're national champs," but the Louisville fans will go, "You're number 2 in Kentucky."
But I got a feeling. I just have a sneaky feeling that we might play them again in the tournament, which I hope we do. It was you got to give Louisville credit. They came out ready to play. I was disappointed in a couple different aspects of UK. I thought we'd be much better defensively because that's all we've heard all off season is about how we were going to be so much stronger defensively. We couldn't keep them out of the lane, Jimmy. I mean, they just drove past us like we weren't there.
Bottom line is Louisville outplayed us. Bottom line.
Well, the funny thing is you say that, but when you look at the box score, Kentucky out-rebounded Louisville. A lot of the things that you would look at and say, oh, well, if you looked at this box score and didn't know the score, you'd say, well this team won. But we outplayed them in a lot of facets. We had a better three-point percentage, better overall field goal percentage, out-rebounded them, out-free throw percentaged them. But the big one,
their defense.
They turned us over 20 times
compared
to
to 14 or 6.
Yeah, they only had 6 turnovers to our 20. And that was the big difference. They also, the other big thing was they had 20 assists as opposed to us. We only had 14.
But you know what? We weren't the only teams that lost the other day. Alabama beat St. John's, which I was bragging on St. John's and a lot of other people. Alabama beat them. That's 2 losses for St. John's already.
Well, this is one of those things. It's the same thing when we talked about football. People overanalyze the first week. It was strange having that game the first this early.
Yeah, they don't.
I hope they never do that again.
I don't think they will.
And I'm not just saying that because we lost. I didn't like it in general. It's like I was talking about today with somebody. I was like, we haven't even played the football game yet.
No,
It's never happened to where the football game is after the basketball game.
But you know what? This may be a good thing. Do you know that most of the time, whoever wins the football game loses the basketball game?
That's what's always said. Yeah.
So maybe since Louisville beat us in basketball, we'll win in the football.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Jimmy, you were there.
I was there.
You want to talk about a team 3 weeks ago that looked dead in the water, and you got to give Stoops credit. I mean, we manhandled Florida.
I was at the game. The Kentucky beat Florida, and I want to first of all, my Florida fans. We have Florida people that watch us.
I know. I met them.
Yeah, and anyway, it was a great weekend and everything. But what impressed me, I've been down on Stoops, and I've got to apologize, Mark. I'm sorry.
He's going to call in again.
I know he will. I'm waiting for I got my phone on silent, so Mark, you're not going to get an answer. But his players did not give up on that coach.
Yeah, and last year they did. Last year's team gave up on.
They played
Stoops.
hard for him, and I tell you what, I think Stoops. We got Tennessee Tech this week, and Tennessee Tech.
We're going to get back to even We should at least.
They're 10-0. You know, Tennessee Tech is
Yeah,
not
but they
lost.
played nobody.
Then we have Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt, and we have Louisville at Louisville. And I think we're going to win one of those games. So, Louisville fans, you better hope we beat Vanderbilt, because if we don't, we're going to beat you guys. I'm just letting everybody know.
I tell you, we've Stoops has got a good history playing in Louisville. And remember, my favorite UK win of all time, favorite youth football win
Against
of all
Lamar
time,
Jackson.
was Lamar Jackson when he won the Heisman Trophy.
And we won.
And that was and really that was Stoops' first bowl game, his first winning season. And I remember them kicking that field goal and winning the game, and then me and Spencer running circles around in this basement. Yeah. And that was one of my favorite wins of all time. I don't think it necessarily was just because, well, it obviously made it more gratifying because it was Louisville, but just in the fact that we won 7 games. We hadn't been to a bowl in I don't know how long before then, and we ended up going to the Gator Bowl that year. Played Georgia Tech. I went there, and me and Spencer went there with my family, and that was one of the most satisfying wins. Probably that one, and then the year that Woodson threw the bomb to Stevie Johnson to win the game in Lexington. But
and Kentucky wasn't the only SEC team that got beat last night. Michigan State beat Arkansas last night. And Arkansas people,
that was Saturday, not last night.
Well, Saturday.
Yeah,
I mean,
Saturday.
But people were bragging on Arkansas, how good they looked and everything. And some games this week, if you're a big basketball, you got football, basketball going on and everything. Arizona's playing UCLA. I'm not going to pick any winners on these, Mike, because I haven't seen all of them. UConn plays BYU. Houston, which is ranked number 1 now, plays Auburn. That ought to be a good game. Clemson at Georgetown. Pitt at West Virginia. Dayton versus Cincy. Gonzaga may be back on track versus Arizona State. Miami versus Florida. And then the 2 games you don't want to miss.
The Champions Classic.
Michigan State versus Kentucky. And Kansas versus Duke.
Right back into the fire for the Cats. There's their schedule's brutal.
Alabama
I love it.
Alabama's playing Purdue, and Purdue was ranked number 1. They're 2 now.
I tell you what, Alabama taking out St. John's last week, and then if they go in and beat Purdue, they might have a case for number 1.
Well, they need to be they are in the top 10. They're ranked number 8. They're ranked ahead of Kentucky.
There was a couple other. I tell you, the team that last week that had some big wins also was Gonzaga. They beat Oklahoma pretty easy, and then they beat a good Creighton team.
Yeah.
And then they've got to go, and then they're going to turn right around next week and play at Arizona State, which is, I know Arizona State's not probably a national championship contender, but they're always going to be solid, and they're a major Division I program. But yeah, we're getting into the thick now of college basketball. But I think this first week or two, I think by the end of the year, a lot of, you never know what's going to happen. You never know how injuries are going to take effect. But, you can't really delve too much into how teams play these first 2 weeks, just like some of the football teams that we had ranked up high and like Alabama in football. Loses, like they get thumped for now. They look like one of the best teams in the country.
They are one of the best teams in the country.
They are, man.
Hey, folks, also with all these good games coming up, basketball, football, don't forget to get outside and do some exercise. It's supposed to be a great weekend. Get out there for an hour at least. Don't sit inside don't be a damn couch potato, whatever you do. Okay.
Maybe that should have been your gripe of the week. Don't be a couch potato.
Well, I mean, yeah, but sometimes I am a couch potato, so I don't want to gripe too much about that.
I'm going to be a couch potato for a few days.
Yeah, Jimmy. Mike's having knee surgery.
Well, not major, just
but
a little
you know
scope.
What? The knee surgery won't affect his damn mouth, so we don't have to worry about that.
Nope, not at all.
So, football last week. What do you think?
Well, the second playoff rankings came out, and there wasn't a whole lot of change in the top 10 other than Miami popped back in there as they're kind of projected now that after Louisville lost, now they're projected to win the ACC again because somebody from the ACC's got to go.
Georgia Tech lost.
Georgia Tech, they lost, so they dropped down. So other than that, it pretty much kind of stayed the same. It shuffled a little bit in terms of the projected of who's going to play who.
Yeah.
Of course, the big one was Indiana somehow survived, and
Well,
I
it was the catch of the year, in my opinion.
Well, 2 catches. I mean, you got to give Indiana credit for going in there.
Yeah.
You know, they really should have won easily when you look at the records. But Penn State, give it up for them. I really thought once they got down 17-7 that they were done, and they came back and they fought. And I thought the biggest complaint I had about Penn State in that was they got too soft on that last drive. They had been aggressive the whole game. And then they let Mendoza just sit back there and he drove him down the field. And I thought they went to a prevent soft defense way too early. But so give Indiana credit for going in there. They're going to win out. They got nobody left on their schedule, so they're going to end up being 1 or 2. But they are going to play Ohio State.
But did you know something else? That Indiana's ranked number 2 right now. But did you know also Indiana is ranked number 7?
What do you mean, ranked number 7?
Beer sold in their stadium.
I didn't even know they sold beer in Indiana.
The top 10 beer football stadiums. Illinois is number 10. Guess who's number 9, Mike? Just a quick guess.
The Cats.
The Cats. University.
Took us a long time to get beer in the stadium.
Yeah, and then it's West Virginia at number 8. Indiana at number 7.
I'm going to guess Tennessee is up there in the top.
University of Michigan is next. Then University of Minnesota is in the top 5.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
I would never guess that one.
And the 4th ranked is LSU.
They need a lot of beer right now, the way their season's going.
And you were right. University of Tennessee is number 3.
There's a reason why all those guys, all Tennessee fans are jerks, because they're always drunk.
University of Nebraska is number 2. And who would you think would be number 1?
I would have thought Tennessee, but is it Alabama? You didn't say Alabama.
No, Alabama's not even top 15.
They may not sell beer because I don't know if they do or not.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
University of Wisconsin, and
that makes sense.
They sell over 255,000 units.
Think about how much beer is made in Wisconsin. So up there in Milwaukee.
Kentucky has no data on units sold, but they bring in about $1 million per game, close to it. 900 and
it took us forever to pass that.
898,000, and I think after this weekend, me and Potsy and those Florida guys,
I guarantee you,
we might have moved it up there.
Yeah, I guarantee you did.
I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, Wisconsin is the number 1.
Well, if you can't win on the field, at least maybe you can win in the beer sales.
You know what though? Give kudos to Wisconsin. They said their coach is going to stay. He's having a bad year. I think he's only won 3 games.
Maybe that'll give them some inspiration against Indiana.
And you know what? Since they're having a bad year, they've only won 3 games. Maybe that's why the beer sales are so high.
I guarantee it. Plus, it's cold up there, so you got to have something.
But anyway, congratulations to Indiana. A heck of a win over Penn State.
Well, and some of the other games last week that was obviously the Cats. Getting the big win against Florida, and then Cal stunning Louisville. But I think there was one of the Micks that called that last week, didn't I? Didn't I call Cal beating Louisville?
Yes, you did.
I said that's a dangerous game, and Cal's a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
I tell you, the game that surprised me a little bit was not that they won, but the way Texas Tech manhandled BYU. It wasn't even a game. And
I think one of the Micks picked that one too.
Well, I think we both picked Texas Tech on that one. But,
I'll tell you a team that is looking real good, and I'm not so sure they shouldn't be number 1. Who do you think?
Oh, Texas A&M.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well, Lane Kiffin in his press conference this week talked about that. He said, why is Texas A&M not number 1? They've got one of the hardest schedules in the country.
Yep.
Ohio, and he said, taking nothing against Ohio State and Indiana, but this is an interesting thing he said. He said, go ask Vegas. Ask them if Texas A&M was playing Ohio State or they were playing Indiana. Ask them who'd be favored, and he's probably right. Texas A&M has beaten Notre Dame at Notre Dame, who right now is projected to be in the playoff. They've gone through a tough SEC schedule and gone undefeated to this point. Went into a tough Missouri team this weekend and really beat them easy. So I can see their point. Now, I do think this, though, Jimmy. I think that, of course, Indiana and Ohio State are going to play each other. And if they keep on the same route, Texas A&M and Alabama will play each other. I think the winner of those two will end up being 1-2 in the, and I think they would deserve it, obviously.
You do know the committee has said that these championship games are not going to affect. In other words, they're going to have the seeding before those games are even played.
Well,
For the most part, they're not going to let them be the definite decision on who
but
goes where.
that's going to be the automatic bid of whoever wins that game. So the SEC champion, whoever the SEC champion is going to get the highest seed. I mean, Alabama is only 4th right now, and Texas A&M is 3rd, and so one of those teams would lose, assuming they went out. I mean, you never can count out Auburn and Alabama in the Iron Bowl. That's always a crazy game.
Oh,
and Alabama has got they've got another tough game this weekend. They got to play Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma,
my sleeper team.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Now they are playing that at Alabama, and so Oklahoma is going to have a chance to play their way into the playoff. And I tell you, the other team that's got to can play their way in is Texas. Texas has got to play at Georgia.
It's amazing. Texas is still in
I know it. But then they got to turn around and play Texas A&M. So obviously, if Texas can win both of those games, they're going to be in the playoff. They're probably going to be, they're probably going to move up into the top, 5 or 6.
Well,
if they do that
this Friday, folks, U of L fans, you have a big game. Clemson is coming to Cardinal Stadium, and it's not Cardinal Stadium. What is it? Anyway, they're coming.
It's not Papa John's anymore either, is it?
No, but anyway, they're coming to your home, and get out there, fans. Pack that stadium, pull them on, because I'm telling you, even though Clemson is having a down year, don't overlook this team. Dabo can get those players up.
Well, the same thing as Penn State. They still got athletes.
Yeah, and that's this Friday, not Saturday. Friday. So
Friday at 7.
Yeah, and then I'm going to take U of L in that game, Mike.
I'll take Louisville to bounce back, but I think it'll be a really close game, and it wouldn't shock me if Clemson won.
And then South Carolina plays Texas A&M. There's another good game. I'm going with Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M is the real deal.
Well, Texas A&M is definitely the real deal. The only reason that we have this one down here is because South Carolina is still that dangerous team.
Yes.
And they have played everybody tough. They just haven't quite gotten the win, except for when they thumped Kentucky. But so they have potential, but they are playing that at Texas A&M. The only thing is that I think Texas A&M has a small team, and then they got the big rivalry with Texas.
Yeah.
You want to talk about, and I think they might be playing that at Texas this year. I think. Because I remember. I think Texas. Yeah, I remember Texas. I think Texas played them there last year. So
yeah.
And then Notre Dame has got a tough game. They got to play at number 22 Pitt.
I'm taking Pitt.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not. I'm taking Notre Dame on that. Notre Dame, definitely taking Notre Dame on that one. Okay. I think obviously it's a game that Notre Dame has to win. They have no margin for error. But if they win that, they're going to win out and ultimately end up in the playoff.
Of course, last year I wasn't impressed with Notre Dame, and then they make it to the championship game.
Yep.
I'm the same thing this year. I'm not impressed with Notre Dame.
Yeah. Well, and then another pretty big game is Iowa, who Oregon squeaked by Iowa last week. Yeah. I picked Iowa in that game, and it came down to a very last second field goal, and Oregon survived. I still am not sold on Oregon, and Oregon still has to play USC, but USC can play themselves into the playoff. Yeah. Because the only game that
you taking Iowa or you taking USC on that?
I'm going to take USC in that game, especially if they're playing at USC. But USC could still end up in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
And so
it's not over with. There's a lot of football still. What about Oklahoma and Alabama?
I'm definitely taking Alabama, but I think it'll be a really good game. I mean, Alabama's schedule is a gauntlet. I mean, they have just played tough team after tough team. But one thing you can say about Alabama when they go into the playoff, they are going to be battle tested for sure.
I got to go with Alabama. And then Florida at Ole Miss.
Well, obviously, it depends on which Florida team shows up. The one that almost beat Georgia or the one that just got stomped by Kentucky. But I do think they're playing at Ole Miss. hopefully, I'd like to see Lane Kiffin get into the playoff. I think it'll be fun having him in the playoff. So I hope, like last year, obviously we kept them out of the playoff with that game, the only SEC win we had last year, and going down there and upset them. So I don't think he'll let that happen again this year. And I think Florida is reeling now, and I think that Ole Miss will win that.
I'll be honest about it. I want to say Florida's going to win this game. I really do.
At Ole Miss too.
At Ole Miss, yes.
In the Grove. You think they're going to go in the Grove?
Kentucky beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss last year.
Well, that was last year.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you got to take all your good memories and spit them out there.
But Ole Miss also came into Lexington and beat us this year. So
yeah, I know. But
even though we had our chances,
Florida, I think Florida's too proud of a program not to show up in this game after what happened in Lexington. Although I told you the weather, it was a little bit cold. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
If they had played this,
the next day, Sunday, man, you want to talk about overnight going from not feeling too bad to freezing.
Yeah, but I got to take Ole Miss. And then we talked about Texas. Texas is at Georgia. Here's where Texas might end up just, boom, out of it.
Oh, I think they will end up out of it because I think Georgia's going to win. But Texas keeps hanging in there somehow, and
they do. I mean,
they were ranked number 1 at the beginning of the year.
Just think about it. Kentucky took them to overtime.
Kentucky should have beat them.
Yes.
And Mississippi State should have beat them. So they shouldn't be even in the – and this is the same Texas team that lost to Florida also. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the first game of the year, you can't hold losing to Ohio State 14-7 at the beginning of the year. But it does seem like their offense has finally started clicking, and that's they've got a great defense. So if their offense can continue to play well, and their special teams has been really good as well, then they definitely have the potential to go in and beat Georgia at Georgia if Georgia's not ready.
Georgia, I don't know. They've only lost one game, and it was to Alabama
at home.
Yeah. And so, I mean,
but they've been in some tight ones.
Yeah.
And now the one thing last week, we put them on a little bit of alert last week, but they went in and handled business at Mississippi State.
Oh, they did. They just, I mean, Mississippi State scored the first touchdown, and then Georgia just went on a run and kicked their rear ends. I mean, big time. So,
anyway, who you going with? The Bulldogs or the Longhorns?
I'm going with the Bulldogs. I got to go with.
I'm picking Georgia too. Texas has not beat Georgia yet. They've lost to them. They played them last year in the regular season and lost to them at Texas. Then they lost to them in the SEC championship game. So can they turn it around? Guess we'll see. But I'm going to pick Georgia playing at Georgia. And then here's the thing about Georgia too. If you think about it, if they lose that game, then they've got another tough game against Georgia Tech to end the year, and they could literally end up out of the playoff if they lose both those games.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of football, and
there's going to be some surprises like that.
Nobody should take anything for granted. Did you happen to watch the Monday Night Football game last night?
I did watch it. Yes, it was ugly game. Oh shoot! It was an ugly game.
Heck, it was uglier than me. I'm telling you, that's pretty ugly.
I don't know, Jimmy. I think you're pretty handsome, man.
Compared to that game, I am.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
You're right.
Yeah, it was an ugly game.
It was an old school football game, defensive.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the Eagles came out and beat 10-7 was the score.
And it was 0-0 at halftime. Yeah. Nobody scored in the first half.
I forgot the last time they said that happened in the NFL, but yeah.
I can't remember the last time it happened. So,
but I'll tell you a game that I even thought was uglier. The Chargers and Steelers game.
Well, I didn't think that was ugly because I like it any time that the Steelers lose.
So. Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's going to have to do better if he wants to make it to the playoffs. But that was an ugly game for the Steelers.
There was a lot of ugly games this weekend. Probably the ugliest of them all was the Bills.
Laid an egg at Miami.
I'm like, what? And then not only just lost, but just got handed. They couldn't do anything offensively. Obviously, they had the big win the week before where they beat Kansas City, looked great. And they obviously were looking ahead because next week they got a big game against the Bucks. Man, I was not expecting that at all. And even when Miami got up, I thought, oh, well, they'll come back. No,
you're right.
Not at all.
The Bills, the Steelers, and the Packers, they all looked bad last week.
Well, the Packers offensively look bad. Defensively, 2 weeks in a row, you can't put the loss on their defense. I mean, they lost to Carolina the week before.
It looked bad. Yeah. It was an ugly game.
But here's the thing. When you get into the playoffs in the NFL, in my opinion, you'll want a stronger defense than you want offense.
And, Vegas odds, even a couple weeks ago, that the Ravens would win that division.
Well, they got a big win again. And I'm telling you, now that Lamar's healthy, if he stays healthy, they will win the division. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
You forget, I predicted them to go to the Super Bowl along with.
I don't think they're going to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, we'll see.
Because they're probably, even if they come back and win the division, they're going to play all the games on the road.
Ravens and Detroit in the Super Bowl. Mark it down.
Well,
who was your team you picked?
I got the Pack, Pack and the Bills.
You did. Oh, the Pack and the Bills.
What did we say last week? We said this year next week somebody else will be ugly that we're not expecting. I'm telling you right now, there's nobody playing better than the Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots are playing great.
They are playing good, not only defensively but offensively. I'm impressed with them.
The Patriots right now. The Patriots. If I had to predict it right now, I'd put the Patriots and the Rams in there.
Well,
Seattle maybe.
Here's the thing that kind of shows the parity in the league right now. You've literally got, we're just over halfway through the season, and there's no teams with less than 2 losses, but you have a bunch that have 2 losses. You got the Patriots, Colts, Broncos. You talk about winning ugly.
Yeah.
That game against the Raiders, and they've won ugly a bunch of times. You got the Eagles that have won ugly now. Seahawks
have a great defense.
Yeah. Well,
they remind me of
great offense too. They scored. They were up 35-0.
Who's their quarterback? Oh, he's the same guy that won 14 games at Minnesota last year.
You're right. But then he didn't do too well in the playoffs.
Well, against the Rams, who almost beat the Eagles and might have had a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, and right now, Stafford's playing better than anybody. They're talking about him winning the MVP. He's 38 years old.
Also they're talking about Drake May from New England also.
Yeah. But, so you got the Patriots, Colts, Broncos, Eagles, Seahawks, and Rams all right now tied with the best records in the league. So here's the thing. Out of those teams at the top, well, first off, does that encompass the best team? Who's the best team, do you think, in the league? Because there's a lot of teams the Chiefs
right now,
and the Bills and Ravens.
Out of those, I would put the Patriots and the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Well, the way the Patriots have played the last couple of weeks, a couple weeks ago, I would have said the Colts. But
Colts are looking good, too.
I just think this year, I think the playoffs are just going to be a lot of fun because there's going to be so much parity, and the teams are just going to be there's not going to be a favorite team, I don't think. So
anyway, folks, in the NFL this week, since we're talking about NFL, Thursday, the Jets at New England. We're not even going to predict that.
Hey, we kind of looked over the Bills and the Dolphins last week. Here's the thing: Jets have won a couple in a row, Jimmy.
Well, they're 2-7 right now.
Yeah, they've won a couple games in a row, and so hey, they're getting better. And you never know; it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, Jimmy. Any given Sunday.
That'd make a good movie. You know.
Well, they did make it a movie. It had LT in it. Remember that?
Oh, it had LT.
Had Steamin' Willie Beeman. You remember that? You ever saw that? Jamie Foxx played Steamin' Willie Beeman.
Yep. Who played the coach?
It was Al Pacino, which I thought that was one of the weirdest roles ever for Al Pacino.
He did a good job.
I just thought he does not strike me as a football coach. Yeah. Even he did a pretty good job, but he's a great actor. But I just thought there was a lot of other actors that would have been a better NFL coach. But
and then the 3-7 teams, we got Washington at Miami. Take your pick on that one, folks. And Carolina at Atlanta. Now, Carolina's sort of been a surprise team, 5-5 against Atlanta, who
it just depends on. Well, it's the battle of the bipolars, Jimmy, because you never know who's going to show up each week with these teams. Carolina went in to the Packers and beat the Packers in Lambeau, and then turn around and go out there and play Seattle and get trounced.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking literally trounced. And then you got the Falcons, who played one of the best teams in the league and went to overtime with them. And then the week before, lost on an extra point. So, but earlier this year, this was the game that Carolina won 30-something to nothing. So who knows what's going to happen in that game?
And then you have a game that's
might have to need some counseling before that game. I don't know.
Tampa Bay 6-3, playing at Buffalo 6-3.
This is a huge game for the Bills now, because
it's a huge game for Tampa Bay.
Now that the Patriots are up, not only do they got a head-to-head on the Bills, and they're up a game, so technically they're up 2 games. The Bills lose another one, and the division is going to probably be out of reach.
I'm going to take Buffalo because cold weather. Though Miami doesn't like playing in cold weather. Now Tampa Bay, Baker has played. He played for Cleveland, so he probably do good. But Miami, you send Miami up to Buffalo or New York Jets or this time of year or the Patriots, no.
I'm going to take Buffalo too. I think Buffalo will. I think that last week was looking ahead. They got the big win, got the big heads. They were looking ahead to the Bucks and thought they were just going to go around to them. But I put that on the coach. Those types of things where you let your team overlook a team. Like I said, in the NFL, any week, I don't care how bad a team is. It's been proven this year and really every year. You can never take an opponent lightly. I mean, these guys are still pros.
No.
And even if they're the bottom of the NFL, they're still pros, and they're still good players on every team. So,
and you have the Chargers playing at Jacksonville, and you're a big fan of Jacksonville.
They blew a game last week.
Yeah, but they're still 5-4. They're doing better than they did last year.
They were up 16 in the fourth quarter and lost against Houston.
And the Chargers 7-3. It is at Jacksonville, and Jacksonville lost this past. I'm taking Jacksonville.
I'll take Jacksonville in that game as well, just because it's a must-win for them to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. If they lose this one, then they're going to be struggling to make the playoffs. So I think Jacksonville will get the win, even though that's a hard pick right for the way they blew that lead last week. But I did see where Travis Hunter is out for the season.
He is.
So they did lose their number one pick.
Is out.
That's a shame.
Travis Hunter is out for the season. The next game, Chicago's at Minnesota, and I'm taking Minnesota. I know Chicago's been playing good, but I'm taking Minnesota. It's at Minnesota, and I think Minnesota needs a win.
Yeah, I think the Vikings will win there, especially after losing to the Ravens last week. And Chicago's won, but they really haven't won that convincely. They just look like they're playing backyard playground ball.
They're 6-3 right now.
No, they're right in the mix. I mean, the NFC North right now is
they're ahead of the Packers.
Well, just because they've played
the Packers.
No,
they are.
No, they've played one less game than the Packers.
They haven't.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. They are ahead of them. Yeah, they are. But they still have to play twice.
You forget about the Packers doing that tie.
The stupid tie. Yeah. Well, the Pack blew it against Carolina last week. They should have never lost that game.
The Pack plays the Giants, which, by the way, the Giants fired their head coach, Diablo, whatever his name is.
Another coach goes down, Jimmy.
Well, this is NFL.
Well, I don't care.
Different.
It's a coach.
Yeah, it's a coach goes down.
Of course, the big rumor is
Bill Belichick.
The Giants are going to
go
after Belichick.
Bill Belichick said
the way he's doing right now at North Carolina, I don't know.
I think he might ought to take it. Right now, Bill Belichick, his words were, "I'm only interested in Wake Forest, which is their next game."
Yeah, he can say that.
Then this is an interesting game. Cincinnati at Pitt, and it came out today. Burrow may play.
He started practicing this week, which is a good sign. This to me is a make or break for the Bengals.
Yeah.
I think if the Bengals lose this game, you shut down Burrow because you're not going to come back. But if you can win this game somehow at Pittsburgh, and then you're right in the hunt because then you're only a game behind Pittsburgh with 2 wins over them. And the Ravens are sitting at what, 4-6 right now? Is that
Yep.
what they're sitting at?
Yep.
So then they would still have a chance. If they lose this game, then I think you shelf Burrow and don't take a chance on him getting hurt.
Well, we got 2 weeks to find out. If they win the next 2 games, Burrow will definitely be playing. If they lose the next 2 games, that would put them at
Of course, then we
3
get the
and 8.
question: if Flacco wins the next 2 games, do you?
Do you put Burrow in there? Flacco's been playing good.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I don't think the Cincinnati's going to go in and beat the Steelers, which I would love if they did, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
But if they do, they're right back in it.
Yep. Houston's at Tennessee, and Houston's favored by over a touchdown, so you got to go with Houston. San Francisco is at Arizona. I got to go with San Francisco. Arizona just doesn't seem to have it. Here's an interesting game. In my opinion,
It's the best game of the week.
Well, there's 2. There's actually 3 games that are real good. This is one of them. Seattle at the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the who's going to have the lead in the NFC West and have the inside track. So, yeah, this is a huge game.
I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams too. They're playing well, and they're playing in LA. So, but can't count the Seahawks out, man. They have played well all year.
Another good game is Kansas City at Denver. Wow. Denver's just hung on by their teeth. I'm going with Kansas City in this one.
I like Kansas City in this as well. Denver and not only that, but KC has had they had their bye week last week, so they're going to have 2 weeks to prepare for that and heal up. And I think they're gonna come back full strength, and I think that KC will get that win.
And then Detroit at Philadelphia, folks.
Woo! Some big ones this week, Jimmy.
I'm going with Detroit.
Well, of course you are, because you have them going to the Super Bowl.
Well, Earl Campbell's calling the plays now.
Yeah. Well, which is kind of strange because they were one of the top defenses in the league. So,
yeah.
Do you have to pee?
Yeah, I do.
We have to get rushed to your gripe of the week. This is how we started off our first show.
I know it. My gripe of the week is this: 2 Major League Baseball players caught on gambling, setting up games.
Are you talking gambling again?
Yes. You're in the pros. Quit it. You're making millions. I got to pee.
Jimmy's got to pee. This is a quick one tonight, man. Well, there he goes. He's running to the bathroom. Well, it was a lot to cover tonight and some good stuff. And I hope next week we got some, in terms of my end of the things, in terms of the Cats, I hope that they can come back and get a big win over Michigan State next week. We'll see what happens. I think they will respond. And again, congratulations to the Cards on the big win in the big rivalry game. I was hoping for a big Cats win, but obviously got to give credit where credit's due. They came to play, and they got a year of bragging rights. So I hope they get to play again in the tournament. I'll always love it when they play in the tournament. Some of the best times when they do. So, but anyway, we'll be back next week. I think we were going to broadcast live at Cosmic Golf this week, but I had too much going on. I've got a little minor knee surgery tomorrow that I got to take care of, so I didn't have time to go up there and set everything up. But we may broadcast live up there next week. So, oh look, he's back. He's already back. You have another gripe?
No, but I want to further go along on that. No, it pisses me off that you have these pro players, just like I said, 2 baseball players, pitchers for the Cleveland Guardians. They got caught in another gambling scandal where they were throwing pitches or whatever so bettors could bet on the props. I'm telling you, ban them, whatever. I'm tired of this stuff. You are living a dream. Do you know how many of us growing up would love to be able to make a living playing football, playing basketball, playing baseball,
millions,
playing golf? Just quit it, guys. Quit it. Don't get into that gambling and everything, or throwing games or whatever. Even you college kids, you can run your entire life. You make a good living for your family. and you should be happy with what you do. Don't get into that. If somebody comes up to you and says they want you to throw a game, report them. We got an FBI guy that'll get them now. Report them. No more gambling. And I don't have to pee right now. So,
well, this will
thanks,
be this
everybody.
will be a first. Jimmy finishing the show on camera. So, so now we know what Jimmy thinks about gambling. Which, you know what, I think that I really don't think it comes down to money. I think it just comes down to the thrill of it with these guys.
Well, I
and
mean,
egos. It's stupid. Don't
it's
get me wrong.
cheating.
It's dumb.
Cheating, yeah.
It's dumb. It's dumb. Quit gambling. So Jimmy will quit griping about it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our show for this week, and we'll be back next Wednesday at 7:00. Tune in, and we will see you guys next week. This has been the Two Micks. Peace out.